Welcome to the next episode of Shining Through Your Words, an author series proudly brought to you by Write and Shine Media House. Today, I've got an incredible guest with me, not only an author that's writing through Write and Shine Media House, but a good friend of mine, Ilona. Please introduce yourself and tell us more about you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Ilona. I'm from the Free State, a small mining town, Virginia. And I have four children. I have two grandchildren, and it's one of their birthdays today as well. So we're celebrating.
Okay.
And yeah, I've been in teaching for about 21 years. I've been a teacher. I've taught grade 1 up to grade 12. But I'm also interested in many other areas like business and investing and property and so on. So, and then as from lately, I started to write as well. It has been brewing and stirring for many years, and sometimes you just ignore it, and suddenly, oh, I've realized it has to be written down. So here I am.
Ilona, I couldn't be more thrilled to have you here. And we were talking now, as I am from the media house side, I'm working very closely to you. And, I choke up because this is why I do what I do is to, take hands with you. Because you're the creative, you're the voice, you're the heart, the story behind your book. Please share, what you are writing about. I want to start there with you today.
Right. It all started during a time where I myself and my children experienced a lot of trauma, and I realized that we really have a gap. Most people go through trauma, and there's a real gap, even for children, to really get through the trauma and just continue with their life and see this as a phase in their life. So that is why I really thought it would be really good for me to talk about trauma and loss and all the bad things that happen along the way, because we all experience it at one stage or another. Nobody is excluded from that. So my idea was to assist people by guiding them through the process and assisting them to really see the light on the other side again. And there's a bright future ahead for everyone.
So much respect for you and your journey, Ilona. And, for me, it's interesting if I look at my own trauma as well. It's like there's so much shame and guilt. It's like a stigma if you go through certain
Mm,
things, divorce, all that other things, you fail. And that for me is something, this is exactly why I created this space, is to have the conversations because you're not your story. You're actually not your story. If you look at your story as well, you're not that. It's what happened to you. But that does not
yes.
define you.
Mm. No, that's exactly true. We all make mistakes. We make the wrong choices. We take the wrong roads. So, and sometimes you just need to realize whatever you go through, if it's divorce, I've been there. You just get up and you continue. So, if you go to a clinic for trauma, you check in. That's nothing to be afraid of. And I've met so many women that's so afraid of being stigmatized because they were checked in a clinic, or they've experienced divorce or went through some kind of bad patch in their lives. And that's not who you are. You get up, you stand up, you look everyone in the eyes, you learn your lesson every time. So there's nothing that's really wrong. Every life experience is an experience. It's a lesson. You always learn something from it, and you take away something from it. And usually, when you experience something, somewhere along the line, it's for a reason. So maybe you will be the support system for somebody else again in future.
That's incredible. And Lona, your story as well, through abuse and then I don't want to give everything away, but extreme trauma and being hurt by someone that you trusted, that is a narrative so many of us go through. And that would be my next question to you. If someone listening now is going through one of those seasons and chapters in their lives where they are being hurt and basically, I would say, stalked, harassed, really being hurt by someone they love, what advice would you give to the listener?
I can tell you from experience, as a teacher, I have it within me to always trust people and to always help people. But if you experience something like being abused or being hurt by someone in your life, um, you can never change that person. We always believe, and I've experienced it so many times with so many people, that most women or partners think they can, if they stick along for long enough, if they hold out for long enough, that they can be able to change that person, and it won't happen.
Great.
Unfortunately, you have to come to a point where you realize this is enough. I'm not going to take a lot more abuse. I won't be treated like this anymore. And unfortunately, you have to walk away. You have to start over because you're not doing yourself a favor. And you cannot surround yourself with people who just pull you down. You have to look after yourself. You have to stand up for yourself.
I love
So
that.
you have to be strong. Yes.
And that definitely for me is almost the crux of your book. If you look at you chose yourself, that was the tipping point when you chose yourself, not your children, not, if you look at all the moving parts, you chose Ilona, you chose your dreams, you chose to move forward, and it's not like we say what happened wasn't extremely bad, and all those things. But to move forward, you have to choose yourself and let go of what happened in a way as well.
No, that's very true. And people might think you are selfish for doing that. Unfortunately, not everyone, I think most people don't have the luxuries to really sit down and take a year and just get over trauma or disappointment. We don't have these luxuries. Most of us have to continue. You
Yes.
cannot just remove yourself from the system. You have to focus, you have to stand up. So as most of us will have children to look after or parents that we care for. So there's no time to really sit down and feel sorry for yourself. And it's not being selfish. It's you must choose yourself and you have to go forward.
I love that. And I do want to ask you the therapeutic side of writing your story out. Was it difficult? Was it hard for you? Or did you feel you just wanted to get it out of your system almost?
When I started, it was difficult because for many years I really have put it behind me. I didn't really go back there because I do believe that you can create your own life, a new life, without having to go back and delve into the past. So, but I had to do that when I had to write the story. So when I started writing, I had moments when when it really got to me again, thinking and experiencing everything again. But when I started writing, it just came. I was just writing and it was just flowing. So, and it's also therapeutic because it is a healing process. So even though I went through the stages, it's like also you close that part of your chapters and you make peace with it. And you can assist other people going through the same kinds of problems and traumas, and you can assist them.
I love that. And that's why I'm so passionate about writing overall and turning your pain into your purpose, because I do feel you're such a hero for picking up a pen and basically penning down what happened to you, not from a place of a victim, but from a place of, listen, I'm still dealing because all of us, the trauma, I believe you constantly have to see where they triggers and, all that stuff. But by picking up your pen, you are saying, listen, I'm taking responsibility and basically taking the power out of what happened to you by almost rewriting the narrative. And that's why I'm so incredibly excited to see your journey in front of me, because that's exactly what you did.
Yes, I think many times we fall into the trap of seeing ourselves as victims. But the place that we are at today is the life that we created for ourselves. We made our choices, and we have to accept what happens to us sometimes. But we cannot just sit down and feel sorry for ourselves and make ourselves out as a victim. We are not victims. So we have to get up. We have to face the world again. And every process is a learning curve. We always learn from anything that we experience in our lives. And it's not always easy to just blurt out your whole life. So I was trying to just keep a kind of a balance
Yes,
between I don't want to have vengeance, but I have to create the truth
exactly.
and what we can learn from that without really without any emotion that attached to it, for like um, taking revenge or being angry or any negative emotion attached to what happened. So it's
Exactly.
a very neutral stage in my life where I was writing from, not really with any attached emotions, just trying to assist the next person.
No, I love that. And that for me, because I've also written about trauma, and you go through all the emotions. You have to. You go through the anger, you
Mm.
go through the denial. I mean, I was in denial for many years. And then the acceptance part is where I really think the writing is such a beautiful. I actually want to look up one of the sentences you wrote, if you don't mind, just to give a sneak peek to our listeners, because it really is just so inspiring. Quickly want to just read a snippet. Yes, so I'm gonna just one. As I start to embrace this truth, I found that trust is not just a leap into the unknown, it's a gentle unfolding of oneself to others. It is allowing yourself to be seen, heard, and understood. It is the willingness to extend your wings despite the fear of falling. I'm not gonna read everything, but you have really, for me, described your journey in such a beautiful way, where there's still a learning for the reader as well. Why did you decide on the butterfly of all animals for your book?
Um, I think it featured for many years in my life without me realizing it. I have had businesses before with I had the logo, the emblem of the butterfly. So when I went on a course earlier this year to Switzerland, and I saw the butterfly at the course, it was their emblem. So something just stirred in me, and I just knew this is actually me. So I just realized the butterfly has to feature. So the growth stages, growing and developing, and then emerging as a beautiful butterfly and being able to fly again. So there was no doubt about it. I just knew. It just fell into place.
That's amazing. What is your book's name for everyone who would like to order it when it comes out?
Butterfly moments.
I love it. And we will definitely have another interview with you the moment we are preparing for your launch from the Media House side. Ilona, for anyone going through a difficult time who's contemplating to also write their story, what advice would you give them?
Well, you always have to go and pursue your dreams. And the main thing is don't see yourself as a victim. By writing your story, you are actually doing yourself a favor to heal. You will heal through that. And it's part of your process. And you can encourage other people to heal as well. So if you keep the story to yourself, you're not doing anyone a favor. You have to get your story out. You have to write about it. And there's always a reason for all the things that happen in your life. So we are not failures. We are creators. And there's always light on the other side of the tunnel. So nothing is doomed. You still have a purpose. So you just have to create that new life for yourself.
That's amazing. If anyone wants to reach out to you to either invite you for an interview or to ask you when your book is coming out, how can they reach you?
I have a Facebook page, I have an Instagram page, and email as well. So people are more than welcome to ask questions or to make contact with me. I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing. I will also post the links in your program. Thank you so much for joining me today, Ilona, and also for your incredible story that I feel so privileged to help you basically birth into the world in need of it. I really feel it's a much needed book for many, many people out there. Thank you for being brave and courageous to write it.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It was an honor to talk with you.
Such a pleasure. Thank you so much for tuning in. For everyone out there contemplating if you should write your story, please take it from both of us. It changed our lives to pick up the pen. There's just something that happens that stirs within you when you take responsibility and not from a victim side of the story. It does not make it less what you went through, but you are the hero by picking up your story, your pen, to basically share your story with others waiting to be inspired by it on the other side. Keep on writing and keep on shining.
Just watch me shine.